What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? Hello, everyone. Hey, guys. Welcome to today's video. I'm Daniel. I'm here in Iowa, Gold Coast Casino. I'm ready to give you guys another vlog. Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Arsenal Building. I'm Daniel, aka FloppyPENGuinn, and I'm here in Bowler Smart IQ in Jacksonville, Florida. And today we're going to talk about how to build an arsenal for a league bowler. So let's say that you're a league bowler and you're bowling on a house shot week after week in your local league, and you're not sure which ball that you need to buy next to complete your arsenal. Well, today I'm going to talk about three reactive resin balls plus a spare ball that are a well-rounded arsenal for leagues and typical house shots. So in league, you're likely going to be bowling on a house shot every week, and it's probably somewhere between that 39 to 42 foot range. Well, Storm has deduced that the majority of bowlers in the US bowl on patterns that are 39 to 42 feet, so they made a ball for that, and that is the Storm Equinox. So for today's episode, we're going to be starting with the Storm Equinox. This is an asymmetric ball, and it is shiny, as you can see here. And the reason that it's at the top of our arsenal today is because we've got three reactive balls and a spare ball. So let's imagine you're taking a 3-ball roller and you have a KR Joey on top. That's where your spare ball could go. And this just simplifies it. And our goal today is to simplify your arsenal so that you know what ball you would like to buy next or need to take to league next to help you get the best results. So, starting with the Storm Equinox, this would be a great ball to be that first ball out of your bag with the larger core. Maybe if it had a little stronger of a layout on it as well, would be really good. And then you're going to see as we go along, we have a benchmark option here, and we have a ball for when the lanes are a little drier, oil here. So, starting at the top though, as far as core strength goes, with this Equinox, it's going to give you a great motion, especially down lane. It's going to be cleaner, but give you quite a bit of hook. And it's really good for whenever you want to start out on those medium patterns like bowling in league. And with all the misroom that leagues have these days, with your 10-to-1 ratio oil patterns, it really comes down to finding a spot that you're comfortable, getting in that zone where you know, hey, if I just throw the ball there, I'm going to hit the pocket. And then going from there is really the simplest way to put it, and gives you the best option for being comfortable. Because league bowling, the more comfortable you are, the better you'll do, and the more fun you're going to have, honestly. So with the Storm Equinox, it's a great tool for that, because you can start out with it, have a great time, and be able to send this ball to the right and just watch it come back. I mean, this is a great ball for those house shot environments like league. Now, in our arsenal here, we also have our benchmark ball, which is our Hammer Hazmat Solid. Now, the reason for having a benchmark ball in the bag with you at league is because the lanes don't always play the same. Although they are meant to be the same exact pattern, and you're not always bowling on the same exact lanes, but they sometimes vary on how they play. The oiling machine is not perfect. The temperature outside even has an effect on how the lanes break down. So with that said, there's a lot of variables that you can't really control for, and you really shouldn't be overthinking it whenever you go to league. So that's where a benchmark ball comes into play. Because this ball is going to be the #1 most dependable ball in your bag, you're going to know what it's going to do every single time, and it's going to give you that nice smooth motion. As you can tell, it's the only dull ball that we've got in the arsenal today. And the reason for that is because a lot of leagues also don't put out a ton of volume these days, so you don't necessarily need anything that's very dull most of the time. Now, with that said, if you're bowling on a lane surface that is newer or just doesn't hook, or maybe your league is putting out a lot of oil for their house shot, then you might need another dull option in your bag. But this guideline for arsenal building, just sticking to having the asymmetric shiny, the dull symmetric, and the symmetric shiny with your spare ball is a really good idea for having a solid arsenal for when you're going to league. Now, with that said, the benchmark ball is also good for transition if you need something smoother, where maybe the Equinox is hooking too much on the back end, and the Zen 25 here that we have as our weaker ball in the bag is just not quite enough yet, where they're not quite as dry, but you need that transition piece the benchmark ball is not a bad idea for that. Plus, it doesn't force you to move too far left because it is smoother. So that's a really good thing. Whereas sometimes on a cliffed pattern like a house shot, you might move too far left too quickly, and all of a sudden you can't carry anything. So that's where this ball, like this Hazmat saw, would come into play, because you wouldn't have to move as far left with it. Therefore, you can keep on striking all night long. Then we can go down to our Zen 25 from 900 Global, which is at the bottom of our bag here today, which is going to be our weakest ball in the bag. And this ball is for whenever you need to move left, if you're right-handed like me, and you need to open up your angles because the lanes are cliffed. And when the lanes get cliffed, you need something that stores quite a bit of energy and has a good motion on the back end so it continues to carry. And that ball for us today is going to be the Zen 25. It's the newest ball from 900 Global, and the reason that I've got it in here is because it has that power edge finish. It's going to be clean down the lane, and it'll give you a nice motion on the back end that you'll very easily be able to visibly see. Now with that said, sometimes if your league doesn't put out a lot of volume, then you might need something on that lower end like an Arctic Vibe or even a Road Warrior from Storm. And with that said, if you do have to go to a ball that's that low, then you aren't bowling on as much volume likely, or maybe your league does 4 games instead of the traditional 3, or maybe it's just a 5-man league with a lot of high rev bowlers, then I could see something like a Road Warrior or an Arctic Vibe coming into play a lot for you. But in this case, in your typical league, sticking with a Zen 25 as your bottom ball in the bag is pretty understandable, pretty reasonable. So with that said, we've got our 3 reactive balls covered here, and then of course we've got our trusty spare ball. Now today we went with the Storm Clear spare ball because, well, I mean, as you can see, this ball is pretty awesome. It's a very great option for making your spares. Some people like to throw a urethane ball at their spares, which doesn't matter because it's going to be going straight anyways, but I would not recommend throwing a urethane in league at all. And if you'd like to know more about that, click on the corner of your screen right now and you'll see a video that I made quite a while back, but you'll see a video on how to throw urethane effectively and why you shouldn't throw it in league. So with that said, we have our 3-ball arsenal plus the spare ball, and I hope that this brings you the most strikes in league going forward. And be sure to come and see us here at Bowlersmart IQ in Jacksonville, Florida for all of your bowling needs.